Welcome to session 13 of our older people friendly exercise. These sessions are funded by Sport England's Tackling Inequalities Fund. Today we're going to continue standing with the support of the chair, but we're going to try and focus more on just holding onto the chair with one hand. So we're using one hand more often than holding onto the chair with both where we can. Again, I'll be using an imaginary chair at the front, just so you can see what I'm doing with my feet. And I've got a chair to the side, so some exercises we might be able to use the chair side on, which I can use the ones beside me. When we come to some of our strength exercises, we'll also do some of those seated on the chair as well. So just make sure you've got a chair or two nearby, and we'll also be using a resistance band. So to get our posture right, start with our feet about hip width apart, toes slightly pointing out. We've got to be up nice and tall, stretching our head up as high as we can. Roll the shoulders back. I'm just going to tilt our hips forward and back just till you find the middle point. So you've got the back point, forward point, and we want to hold them in the middle with our tummy pulled in, nice straight posture. So we'll start just mobilising our joints and warming up the muscles. So we'll start with a little march on the spot first, just with our circulation. So it's going to begin holding on the chair with one hand, one of the arms to begin with. Good. Swap sides. Just keeping the hand nice and relaxed, elbows close to your sides. Good. I'm just going to hold onto the chair, just going to add our feet in. It's a little march, heels lifting off first, toes touching down on the floor first. Good, and we can add one arm into that. Swap arms. Good, and to mobilise our joints, we'll start with our shoulders. So actually this we're going to bring one hand up, touch the shoulder on the same side, bring it back down. Same on the other. Go through 3 of those. One more the other side. Good, and then our shoulder rolls. We lift our shoulders up nice and high and roll them back. Shoulders up nice and high and roll them back. Good, and we're going to do a front arm raise. Again, even though we're not moving our feet, you may need to hold onto the chair with one hand, so I'm going to do one arm at a time. Just bring one arm up straight and down. We're going to do 3 on one side. Good, swap over, 3 on the other side. Just to in line with our eyes, no higher than that. Fantastic. And then we just need to rotate our spine a little bit. So if you've got the arm top of the chair there, we're just going to have the arm that's going across, go across the top of the chair. It's hard for me to explain with an imaginary chair. We're just going to go across. So that arm is in contact with the chair. Back to the start. And to the other. I'll do one demonstration with the chair in a moment. Side. Also, if you are using the chair, I'll just do a demo of this one. I'm just going to lean across like so. Okay. Then we just need to loosen our feet up. So for this, again, we can hold on to the chair, one or both hands for this because we're only using our feet. So we're just going to touch our toe on the spot on the floor and touch our heel on the same spot. We'll do that 4 times. Bring that foot back, get your balance the same on the other one. Toe, heel, roughly on the same spot on the floor. Good, and back to the start. So now we're going to focus on our endurance, so trying to bring our heart rate up a little bit. So we're going to start with our punches. So with the feet stationary to begin with, if you can punch out both hands without holding onto the chair, great. You can hold onto the chair with one hand and alternate every 3 to 5 punches. We'll start moving our feet in a bit as well, so when we do that, we'll make sure we're holding onto the chair with one hand at all times. Okay, we'll try and do a few upwards as well. Good, I'm just going to move our feet gently as well, and holding on one hand, just do a few punches out in front. Good, and swap sides. Good, and a few up, so swap again. Again with our feet still moving if we can. And the other arm. Good. Just there, then we're going to go straight into our march. So we're going straight with the feet, one arm. We're not worried about taking both hands off yet because we'll progress that in weeks to come. Swap sides. We're going to add a few little 10-second bursts in a second. And when we do that, instead of the speed, what we're going to try and do is just do bigger range of movement. So we're just going to try and bring our knees up higher and have a bigger movement in the arms. So the elbow comes further back, further forwards, okay? So we'll start on one side. So we go for 10 seconds, just a bigger movement. 3, 2, 1. Good. And just bring it down to a gentle, normal height march. Then we're going to go the same on the other arm this time. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. Just a bigger movement, higher knees if you can. Bigger movement with the arms. Again for 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Good. Next one we're going to do. So let's make sure I'm back in camera sight. We're just going to do holding onto the chair. We're going to toe tap on one side and back. Toe tap on the floor, the other side and back. So starting with both hands on the chair. Keeping up nice and tall as well, so just make sure we're not leaning onto the chair. Our weight is distributed over our feet. Good, and we can add a bicep curl if you wish. Just swap, alternate, taking one hand off the chair each time. One on side. Fantastic, good. The next one we're going to do is holding onto the back of the chair. Just going to take a tiny step forward for this one. We're just going to take one foot back slightly, so touching your toe back to the start. Bring the other toe back to the start. So when you're touching your toe back, to make sure your foot doesn't go flat back, just backwards toe tap. And I'll do it side on as well so you can see. Okay, and then what you can add as an addition, if you're happy to, is bring one foot back, bring the opposite arm up in front. One foot back, opposite arm up. Get my coordination right. There we go. Good, and again, use the chair with it. One foot back, opposite arm up. Good, well done. Rest back there. So we're going to go on to our balance exercises next. So we're going to start with our one leg balance. So you have a chair in front or beside you. And you can do stand up nice and straight, shoulders back, down, one foot off the floor. Chair's there to support. So you're not leaning onto the chair, the weight is over your standing leg. Keep breathing normally throughout, and the chair's there to support. So if you feel you can try and stand on one leg without holding on, that's great. But if you obviously start to feel wobbly, bring the other foot down, hold on to the chair. Good. Relax down, do the same on the other one. Good, and relax down from there. Then we're going to do a tandem stance, which essentially we put one foot in front of the other, so their toes touching the heel. Stand up nice and straight. Again, using the chair for support, so you're best to stand side onto the chair. What we don't want to do is lean onto the chair. We want to make sure our weight is evenly over our feet. So the chair's there just to support your balance. And if you feel your balance is improving, practice taking one hand off, bring the other hand out just to help your balance. Good. Just bring your hands to the chair, your feet apart. We're going to do the same with the other foot in front. So the weight over our feet, looking up nice and tall, so make sure we're looking forwards, not down at our toes. Holding that position, just keep breathing normally throughout. Good, and relax there, fantastic. So we've got our imaginary chair back at the front, which we're going to go to. I'm going to do a wide base sway. So it's just trying to have a sideways move, which will help our balance if we're sort of putting an object up onto a shelf, for example. So for this, we're going to take one hand, keep it on the chair, and we're going to bring the other hand across, look up, and just go onto your toe on the back foot, the front foot nice and flat. Come back down. We'll swap the same the other side, so make sure our palm of the hands are facing up. Across, and down. One more side. Good, and back to the starting point, fantastic. So now we're going to go on to our strength exercises to try and strengthen some of the main muscle groups in the body. First one we're going to do is knee bends. So for this we're starting our normal stance, feet hip maybe a little bit more apart, towards shoulder width apart, holding onto the chair. I'll do a demo facing forwards and also sideways just so you can see the position of the back and the feet. Okay, so what we're going to do, holding onto the chair, is pretend we're sitting back on a chair. So using that for the guidance, but the weight is over our feet, and ensuring we're keeping our heels down flat on the floor. Just going to slowly lean back and up. Slowly back. I'll do a couple forwards, keeping the heels flat on the floor and up. So a couple side on. Back forwards. I'm going to do two more forwards, another two side on. So we're doing 8 in total. Making sure we're using our feet and legs to push up with, so we're not actually pushing up on the chair. The chair's there for support for our hands, but using our legs to push ourselves back up. A couple more side on. So it's very important we keep our feet flat on the floor and our heels. So make sure you stick the bottom back as if you're sitting back on a chair. Okay, fantastic. And just carefully get your balance back. And then we're going to do some seated strength exercises. So I'm just going to bring my chair around. You can get yourself in a position on your seats. So we're going to start with our leg press. So I'm going to place the band down on the floor. One foot over the middle of the band, and then we're going to pull our hands down just so we've got the band under some tension. And what we do is lift one foot up, pull the arms in so your elbows are close by your sides. I'm just going to push one leg away, bend the knee back in, push it away. We're doing 8 of these on each leg. And back in, so you can push away. Trying to bring the heel towards your bottom so you can then push away again. Just going to do one more. Good. Bring it down, just lift your heel up to release the band. Do the same on the other. As you bring the band under your leg if it's easier. Lift the heel up, pull the band under. So feel the band under tension at that point. Lift your knee up, pull your elbows in so your hands are in, so nice tension under the band already. Straighten the leg out, bring the heel in towards your bottom. Straighten again. Getting 8 of these on your left leg. Do one more. Good, relax up, release the band down, lift your heel up, release the band. Then we're going to do our front of our arm. So we're going to place the band under both heels, so our feet flat arm, flat over the band. So front of the arm, we need the band going through the back of the hand with the tail coming out of the front of the hand. Feeling some tension under there. Hold on to the chair with one hand if you need to keep your back up straight. Keeping the elbows close by your sides. Going to bend, bring your hand towards your shoulder. Just keeping those elbows down so the elbows shouldn't lift. Doing 8 of these. Good. And then we're going to go to the back of the arm on that side. So we're going to change our grip so it enters through the front of the hand, comes out through the back of the hand. Feel some tension, back up straight. I'm just going to pull our arm back, keeping it nice and straight. Working the muscles in the back of the arms. Got 3 more to do. So do 8 on each arm. Good. Lift the heels up and swap the band over. So go to the front of the arm. So the band entering through the back of the hand, coming out through the front of the hand. Feel under tension, keeping the elbow into your sides, your hand up to your shoulder. So you can go through 8 of these. Do the same for the back of the arm, so change the grip, so the band comes through the front of the hand, out through the back, keeping your arms nice and straight, pulling your hand back behind your back. Getting 8 of these as well. One more. Fantastic, that's great. We'll place the band down. We can do our cool down and stretches seated this week as we're sitting down. So it's going to go into our march. So should be aggressive now. We can use both our arms in the seated position. So just a little gentle march. Good. We finish up our stretches. So our upper back. Stretch the arms up nice and high. Good, relax them down. Same out in front. Good, stretch our chest and shoulders, push the arms back with the chest up. Good, and to our legs. Just bring one heel in towards your bottom. Relax that down, same on the other leg. Good. I'm just going to straighten one leg out in front, stretch towards our toes, keeping the chest up nice and high, stretching the back to the upper leg. Good. Slowly back up, bring that foot in, straighten the other leg. Slowly back up, bring that foot in. Well done everyone, hope you enjoyed that, and that completes session 13.